are seeing more and more houses that are coming in under appraisal. It's really turning into a big deal, yeah. So the appraisers are ahead of the curve, and I'd love to get some of those appraisers to talk to some of your sellers and say, hey, let me tell you what we're gonna appraise this sucker for when it actually gets to the mortgage part, so.
Well, what about when the sellers actually go on to MCAT or something and see what their new appraised value is, and then they wanna show you, well, here's what my home's appraising for, so
Yeah.
they're using that for,
Let me tell you my appraisal story from last Thursday.
okay.
I told you I bought this foreclosed house in Galveston. Okay. The house was appraised at $240 for tax purposes. It was listed at $210, and we paid $180. Those are the real numbers. And we've spent $25,000 on termite, mold, and bees. We had bees in the master bedroom, so we've spent almost all the money we've spent, $25,000 so far, is on fixing, just remediation. We haven't made any improvements, we're just fixing it. Wood rotted, the flood in 2008 knocked the leveling, it had been leveled, the flood hit and knocked the leveling pins out, so it had to be re-leveled. They had to put the pieces back.
You said the 240 is what it appraised for?
The last year's tax appraisal was
Tax-
240.
Last year tax appraisal?
Yeah, the GCAD, Galveston,
Okay.
appraisal. They sent me a notice that they were raising the appraisal to $325. So last Thursday, I was down in person with the suit on, visiting with the clowns at Galveston, over there on Emmett Lowry Boulevard, and explaining to them that no matter what appraisal you have, appraisals are estimates. This is what it sold for in a competitive market, and it was vacant for 2 years. And they said, okay, Mr. Schein,
But
180.
180?
Right at
So
the
they-
meeting.
And it went up to
And I didn't even get to the civilian panel. I mean, you meet with an appraiser first. So the point is, with the market sagging, people should consider going in themselves and challenging the appraisers.
Yes.
Or, you know, unfortunately, almost every homeowner is peppered with these different agents that take half the money, half the savings. And I can't say not to do that, because if you're, you know, I'm an attorney and real estate broker. I have a lot of stroke when I go into the appraisal office. But for Joe, the homeowner, who is a smart person, but this isn't really their deal, it may be quite in their interest to just use one of these appraisal services, and there's a half dozen.
Yeah, they're
Well, they're
all-
called tax appeal services,
Yeah,
whatever the
yeah.
generic name is.